You remember hearing it from talking heads all of last year, that postponing sports to the spring would cause harm to the athletes, that teams wouldn't be able to handle all the planning, that it isn't a good idea. Many professional and collegiate sports leagues heeded these warnings as a debate raged on about whether to hold sporting events during the heart of the COVID-19 pandemic and kept their normal schedules, including the National Football League and the Power 5 college football conferences. But what if they didn't? What if somebody decided not to play any more games until the winter? That's exactly what Samford University did in 2020. On August 14th, 2020, the Southern Conference postponed all fall team sports to the spring of 2021, including Samford football, volleyball, and women's soccer. The next day, Samford canceled all non-conference games for the fall. This was after Samford athletes returned to campus on July 26th, practicing and operating under COVID-19 protocols set by the administration with the expectation of having a fall season. Samford resumed competition on November 25th with a women's basketball game at Alabama. However, the fall sports wouldn't start until the new year, as volleyball started on January 31st, soccer kicked off on February 18th, and football began on February 20th. Soccer resumed workouts in January, earlier than they normally do because of the spring season. Soccer was unique in that it had a non-conference schedule, as the team faced UAB and Ole Miss, as well as a condensed conference schedule, facing each SoCon team once instead of twice before a conference tournament in mid-April. Mary Raymond said the team used the preseason for conditioning before settling into a rhythm as the spring season progressed.
Yeah, kind of, just because when we came back we didn't really get to practice soccer. It was a lot of running, so it took us a lot more time to just get together, yeah.
Soccer in particular played more games than normal in 2021, since they went to the conference tournament finals in the spring and won the conference tournament and were not eliminated until the second round of the NCAA tournament in the fall. In all, the Bulldogs played 35 games this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot because we didn't have a lot of time to recover over the summer. Like, it was just back to back. So it definitely built up. But yeah, just a lot of soreness.
Volleyball was the first to start their spring season, and unique to their SoCon schedule were double headers where they faced an opponent on back-to-back days at the same arena instead of a home-and-home series separated by a few weeks. We spoke to second-year setter Kayla Keshock about how volleyball adapted to playing a more congested schedule than usual, and she cited the girls' experience playing AAU volleyball, where teams play multiple games in a weekend and sometimes multiple games in a day, with preparing them with the conditioning they needed to thrive in the spring season. She also said that for her specifically, the differences didn't faze her as much because the spring season was her first season at Samford. Football was the last to kick off, but is notoriously hard on players' bodies. None may have taken a bigger load than starting running back Jay Stanton, who took 204 carries in the calendar year.
Being a running back, you get banged up a lot, so I definitely felt a lot more bruises than I usually do since we had 2 seasons, but it's been good.
A 7-game spring slate was added to football's normal 11-game season in the fall, and Stanton and the team could tell it had an effect down the stretch. However, he credits the team's offensive conditioning to helping to minimize the damage.
We did our regular conditioning throughout each season, and we just made sure we were diligent about what we did and made sure we was in the right shape. Yeah, it definitely helped. It definitely helped with all our endurance and stuff throughout the game.
We may never know the exact physical effects of playing so many games in the calendar year, but one thing is for sure. These players will always look back fondly on what they accomplished in 2021. From Samford University, this is Andrew Simonson reporting.